What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Ladies Who List. This is a new show over on the OWN Network, season 1, episode 1. So this is a show about black women in real estate down in Atlanta, okay? And we open this episode up. We meet Kyra and Kiana, right? Now, Kiana is a broker and Kyra is an agent. Now, I don't have the exact definition, but I know that agents need brokers, right? In order to close a deal, there's another level there. So brokers, a lot of real estate agents, the next level for them is to get their broker's license, and then I believe that's what gives you the ability to be able to open up your own brokerage firm and so forth and so on. So Kiana is a broker, which is a big deal. Okay, we see them talking, and we find out that that Kyra, she's a real estate agent. She's just started getting into the multi-million-dollar market, and that Kiana is sort of like her, I guess, unofficial mentor type situation. She said that she's always believed in Kyra. She said Kyra posted a picture on her Instagram, I guess her professional Instagram, of her in a bikini in this infinity pool. Now, let me tell you something. The picture was fire. When they showed us that picture was fire. But she said that a lot of people were like, oh, they're not going to take her seriously. She's not going to be taken seriously because of this picture. And people are just going to, like, write her off as just, I guess a vixen or something. I don't know. But we found out that Kiana comes from Fayetteville, North Carolina. She grew up in the projects. And she's basically pulled herself up by the bootstraps to get herself to where she is, honey. She definitely is feeling like, that she's got herself in this situation. We didn't get a whole lot about. She said her and Kyra come from the same background, so I don't know if that means they both came from the hood. I don't know if they both came from Fayetteville. Wasn't quite sure, but we meet them. Then we meet Robin and Crystal. Robin said that she was a single mom and she had to make it do what it do, and she had to figure it all out by herself. She said that she was a teenage mom and she didn't really have a whole lot of direction, and so she was like, I ain't supposed to be here. Now, we found out that Robin is also a broker. Again, just that next layer there, right? Crystal is a closing attorney. Again, in every real estate transaction, you need an attorney. So she's a closing attorney. It looks like she has her own firm. And Crystal comes from a very privileged background. But she's always been a hustler. She said she's always been an entrepreneur and always, she said her first business was a dog walking business. She said she came from a very stable home, 2-parent home. Now, this is how I knew she came from a privileged background, because she said that one of her jobs was going to the golf course in their neighborhood and getting the golf balls, washing them off, and reselling them to the neighbors. The fact that you have a golf course in your neighborhood and the fact that your neighbors all golf, that's a pretty good indication that there's a little bit of upper middle class there, right? I ain't saying that, these were multi-billion-dollar homes, but we know that's an upper middle class, at least me, where I grew up. Maybe not where everybody else grew up, but she said that she knows that she came from a certain, she doesn't use the word privilege, but a certain stability in her home, and she said that she was always destined to be successful because that's how she was groomed. So again, you get that, you get that, right? Robin, by her own admission, she is not really good with women. Like, she don't really rock with women like that. She don't get along with women like that. She tells Crystal, listen, I have an idea of something that I want to do. Not sure if I want to share it with you yet. But when I'm ready to share it, I'm going to bring it to you so we can talk. I'm going to talk to you about it. So we see them do a closing together. They're closing on a home for a couple that was a TikTok star, a YouTube star, and his partner, his girlfriend, I'm assuming girlfriend, she's a Fenty model, and they're closing on their $3 million home or something like that. Really nice house down in Atlanta. And Robin is the broker, Crystal was the closing attorney. So after they finish the deal, they go into Crystal's office, and Robin is telling Crystal what her idea is. And so what we find out is that her idea is to basically start a black female brokerage firm in Atlanta. She said, we're all giving our money to, I guess, whatever the next layer is. And she said, all of us are giving buku bucks to these white brokerage firms, when if we were to pull our resources and start our own firm, then maybe we can make it happen. Now, Crystal says to Robin, I think that's a great idea. I support you 100%. However, comma, you don't seem to play well in the sandbox with others. How do you think that's going to work out? Because she asked Crystal, well, can you get the other lady? I guess it's a group that they're, a group of brokers and realtors that they all know. She said, we're going to meet them later on. Tiffany, was it Tatiana? I think her name is Tatiana, child. Kiana and Kyra. Can you get them together? Let's meet for dinner and let me give them my idea. Let me pitch them my idea. Now, I knew then, first of all, I knew then we was in trouble. Because if you can't pick up the phone and call these people and bring them together yourself, that's already a problem. The fact that you got to use Crystal as your buffer, that let me know right there we already got a problem, okay? That's number one. Number two, Crystal says, well, listen, we know you don't play well with others in the sandbox. That was, she said, so how's that going to work? Baby, Robin loses her hint. She starts talking about, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Don't be throwing my words in my face. The only reason why she's saying in her confessional, the only reason why she knows that is because I've told her that over the years. But Crystal is like, it don't matter whether you told me or not. I know you don't. Like, I know you don't get along well with women. Like, that just seems to be a thing for you. So you want to go into business with these women. Tell me how that's going to work out. Make it make sense. Like, what are we doing here? And Robin totally goes off talking about some, don't play with me. I'm going to throw this champagne in your face. Say what? And Crystal is like, watch your tone in my office. Like, we are in my office. I'm going to need you to bring your tone down. Because Robin was like, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to bring my tone down. What are you talking about? I can say what I want to say. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, Robin went from 0 to 100. And my thing is, I feel like the only thing she's saying is what we already know, which is, you said you don't get along with women too well, and you are trying to start a business with a bunch of women. That is the recipe for disaster. And I can't help but think, as I'm watching this episode, I can't help but feel like, here we go again. Another show that starts off with this great idea of something we're going to do, and we're going to spend a whole 10 episodes arguing and fussing about how we're going to make it happen, and get to the end and ain't shit going to get done. That's what I feel like. Now, prove me wrong, but I feel like we ain't a bit more going to get no damn brokerage going than the Man in the Moon. But prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. So anyway, so then we meet Tiffany, who is a closing attorney, and Tatani, I wrote the name down, child. Now, listen, Tiffany, don't hurt me when I say this, but I wrote down next to here, bad mom. Because she say that she teach her kids how to cuss, and she's the parent that when the teachers call about parent-teacher conference, her attitude is, are the kids doing something wrong? Because if they not, they'll figure that out. As a teacher, you are the parent I hate. Let me just put a sidebar in here, and then we're going to move on. I don't understand a parent who can send their child somewhere for 8 hours and not have any interest in what's happening in those 8 hours. I just got a problem with that. Just because your kids are bringing home straight A's, just because your kids ain't burning down the building, just because your kids ain't fighting in the hallway, doesn't mean that there isn't a conversation that needs to be had about what's going on with your child and their education. And I just have a problem with parents who just seem to drop their kids off, pick them up, and don't have any interest in what goes on in between. Yet those will be the same parents that when their child say, I want to go over so-and-so's house, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know them people. I don't know them. I don't know who they have in and out their house. You don't know what the hell going on at the school. Now, that was just me. Let me get off my soapbox. I'm back. Whereas Tati is the... I'm going to just call you Tati. Can I call you Tati? Tati is the total opposite child. Her kids know the damn sugar count in the can of soda, okay? But they seem to be good friends, and they seem to, they seem to have a good system going. Now, I think Tati is an agent, and then, like I said, Tiffany is a closing attorney. But they've connected, and they're good friends, Um, so then we see Crystal have a conversation with her sister because her sister is her operations manager at her firm. And she said, "So, girl, what was happening on the other side of that wall? Like, I could hear you and Robin kind of arguing. Like, what was up with that?" And Tiffany, Crystal was like, "Oh, you heard us?" She was like, "Yeah, I heard the conversation." She said, "Well, look, this is what's going on, okay? She's got this great idea to start this grand situation, and I'm trying to, I was trying to talk to her about it and try to, see if, she was ready for the type of commitment and, the fact that she don't really get along with these people and, and she just totally went off on me. Like, she totally, like, jumped down my throat and got upset, and all I was doing was just trying to bring up sort of like the obvious about the situation. And so, um, her sister was like, "Well, listen, I feel like you need to talk to her and find out like, get to the bottom of that. Like, where was that reaction? Like, get to the root of that reaction, because that just seemed like, it came out of nowhere." But I got the impression that Crystal's sister wasn't really feeling Robin. Like, I just felt like she wasn't really feeling Robin like that. So then we have Kiana. We see Kiana meeting up with Drew, who's another realtor, and he's showing her a house. They call it a pocket listing, meaning it hasn't hit the open market yet, but he's showing it and trying to, I guess, sell it before it even gets on the market, kind of thing. And Crystal has a client that's interested. I'm sorry, Kiana has a client that's interested. She's an actress. Her name is Crystal. I think she's from Sisters. I think that's the young lady that's on Sisters, but don't quote me on that, y'all. But I definitely know her. I recognize her face. But she came and looked at the house and she loved it, and I think they actually gonna put an offer down. She said, "Let me work these numbers out." And at the end of the meeting, Drew was like, "Welcome home." I said, "I know that's right, Drew, with the welcome home." Kiana, I know you don't know me, girl, and I hope you're watching this review. But girl, first of all, let me say, you look good, okay? You look good. Now listen, I know they filmed this show a couple of months ago, right? They filmed it during the summer. You don't want that person no more, right? Can I get that bag? Gone. My P.O. box is in my description. Gone. I won't tell nobody. Anyway, these just jokes, but I'm serious, but they jokes. So, then Crystal comes by to talk to Kiana, to invite her to come to this dinner with Robin. Baby, Kiana was like, "No." Crystal said, What happened?" Well, come to find out that during the panty, that's when Kiana was trying to start her own firm, her own brokerage. But because of the pandemic, a lot, things were closed, and she wasn't able to get like her paperwork done as expeditiously as she needed. And during that time period, she can't be a real estate agent during that. I guess it's a space of limbo. And she said she had something like 32 open contracts or something, and she just needed a agent of record to, I guess, sign off on it, but it was still Kiana's deals. And she said Robin told her that she would do it for $500 a contract. Now listen, I ain't do the math, but I know that's a lot of damn money. And Kiana's thing was, I thought we were friends, and I thought that was kind of effed up that she would take advantage of a situation like that. And it's not because she needed the money, and I'm not understanding why she would do that to me. Now, I don't know what the going rate is, so let me not judge, because I don't know. I mean, is $500 the going rate? Like, is that... I don't know. But it must not be, because Kiana was offended and Crystal was too. So it must be something out of the norm for her to ask that, right? It must be something out of the norm. So Kiana finally told Crystal, "I'm going to go for you." And she said in her confessional, "The only reason why I'm going is because I know Robin wants something from me, and I can't wait to tell her no." I said, "Kiana, you are me and I am you, and you are my spirit animal, and I'm here with you. I am so here with you, because let me tell you something. Crystal, as much as I might like you, girl, as much as we might be friends and we go back like four flat tires, please understand that my answer is going to always and forever be kiss my ass." Anyway. So then Crystal goes to try to have this conversation with Robin. They meet up in the park, and Robin start again. I feel like this scene was edited. They edited the hell out of this scene. So let's be clear. I know that, but from what we saw, Robin started the conversation basically with, you know that I don't normally be having these sidebar conversations with women like this, so you need to be lucky I'm here. What you want to talk to me about? And I feel like Crystal has this nervous energy. You know, some people laugh when they have this nervous energy, and so she kept giggling. And the more she giggled, the more she was pissing Robin off. And I can understand from Robin's point of view, because Robin was like really like upset and in her feelings about the situation. And so the more Crystal laughed, the more pissed off Robin was getting. And she was like, I don't need this. I don't need this from you. I mean, if you're going to be laughing, you taking this as a joke, and I'm dead serious. And Crystal was like, Robin, calm down. Like, you being crazy right now. Now, let me say this, and I'm being serious when I say this. I wonder if Robin has either A, been diagnosed with a mental illness, or B, people have said that to her a lot. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the minute it came out of her mouth, Robin was like, oh, so what you're not going to do is you're not going to dismiss my feelings and write it off as and connect it to my mental illness and call me crazy. And Crystal was like, that's not what I was doing. So I'm wondering if Crystal knows. I wonder if there is a diagnosis and Crystal knows of the diagnosis. I feel like that might be something we might get later on in the season, because her reaction was just like, if somebody said to me, girl, you being crazy right now, I wouldn't automatically go to, oh, why are you trying to make this about mental illness? I wouldn't even think like that. And I know maybe we shouldn't throw words around like crazy. I get that. But that wouldn't be my first thought. And Robin was just like, you don't get to dismiss my feelings. And so Crystal was like, girl, listen, look. If you felt like that's what I was doing, then I apologize. Now on this one, I gotta agree with Robin. Robin was like, don't put in if you feel in an apology. Either you gonna acknowledge that you did it or not. But we're not gonna do the whole if I hurt you, I apologize conversation, because I'm telling you that you hurt me. So I was like, you know what? I'm with her on this one. That's it though. Then after all this arguing, Robin done walked away. Crystal done followed her. They still arguing. Crystal gonna say, well, girl, do you still want me to set this dinner up? Y'all ain't even on one page yet. You still gonna bring other people into this situation? So while this is going on, we see Kiana, Tiffany, and Tati. Girl, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. You just gonna have to correct me, child. And Kira, having a conversation about this dinner, right? And we found out that, Kiana told them, listen, I'm telling y'all, that I ain't had a good experience with Robin, but I'm going to go and hear what she's talking about. We found out that Tiffany and Crystal went to high school together, but they tried to do a transaction a few years ago, and that didn't go so well. And, Kyra was like, well, listen, I don't know how I feel about the situation, but Crystal is the one that does all my closings. That's my attorney, so that's how I'm rolling. And I'm just sitting here like, how do we start something as big as creating a brokerage in chaos? Like, these women don't even act like they even enjoy doing business with each other. It's just a necessary evil, much less let's start a company together. Like, I'm all about getting money. Let's be clear now. But I'm just sitting here like, it just sounds like chaos. But anyway, that's pretty much where we are. I guess next week we're going to get the sit down dinner. From the previews, it looked like it goes exactly how you think it's going to go. And then we going to chow. Now, one thing I will say, I agree with you on Kiana. We saw that Kiana and all them met up was at a listing that I think one of Tiffany's listings. And it's this $1 million home. And Kiana was like, girl, like, I'm going to need you to set this up like it's $1 million listing. Now, I've looked at enough of these real estate shows to know that you got to have these things staged. How you going to bring them people into this house and you don't have the house staged? They just got empty rooms that's echoing off each other. Girl, you got to set it up and make it look nice. And you got to make it look like this how my house going to look. I don't know, child. Anyway, that's a small thing. I just thought I would throw that in there. But that's pretty much what the episode was. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Like, y'all watch it. What y'all, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments, honey. Peace.